Enjoying life isn't always about being on top of everything, having the best job, or the most fulfilling hobby. Sometimes it's those short and simple moments of tranquility where we truly start to feel happy, experiencing an inner calmness that just wasn't obtainable before. This is a point where every single one of us will arrive, sooner or later. The point where you will finally be able to say, I figured it out. This works for me. That's the moment you found the perfect escapism tool. Because let's be honest, every one of you who's watching right now has this one specific type of anime or manga you will always come back to. A genre or theme that gives you comfort and fills the tiny otaku heart with pure, unshowered coziness. No matter if it's the 100th bland isekai, a new trashy never-ending dumpster fire, or the good old cute girls doing cute things, for us they are completely enjoyable the way they are and don't need to excel in something in order to keep us invested. But what if they do? This brings me to not exactly my favorite, but definitely most consumed genre when it comes to just shutting the brain off and relax. Rom-com. Just like any other genre, rom-com provides pretty much everything. The good stuff, the bad stuff, and a ton of mediocre shit. But a few months ago, I stumbled upon this one specific manga that is as simple of a romance story as it can get, but executed in a way that I can only go out and say, this rom-com manga does everything right. Mostly. But we'll get to that. Hokkaido Gals are Super Adorable by Kai Ikeda is a rom-com story that follows a premise I bet only the smartest of you will have already figured out. It's about adorable girls from Hokkaido. This is Shiki, who just moved all the way from Tokyo to the cold city of Kitami in northern East Hokkaido. A nice, earnest and kind-hearted guy. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but we've seen worse. Overwhelmed by the cold and cursed with the inability to take off his gloves in order to check on his phone where the fuck he actually has to go, Shiki continues walking down the street until he encounters one of many new revelations this city has to offer. A Gyaru. And from now on also crowned best girl of the series, Minami Fuyuki, an outgoing, friendly and energetic girl like you've certainly never seen before. After helping Shiki navigating, while triggering a new fetish in the process and teaching that idiot that snow is indeed cold, a pretty normal first rom-com chapter comes to an end. But there already is one thing that immediately left a big impression on me, and that is this absolutely beautiful art style in combination with how stunning the characters' close-ups and expressions look. I've never seen a drawing of snot running out a girl's nose and thought, man, I wish that was me. But here I am now. And let me tell you that there are a whole lot more of these beautifully drawn close-ups in the series. But enough of bodily fluids and rare fetishes for now. Instead, let's jump forward a few chapters. Because what would any indecent rom-com manga be without a little bit of competition? Sayuri Akino is not only just another Gyaru, she's a gamer. And she's best girl. Shiki and her first meet during their school skiing trip, but there isn't really much to it at that point. But then, at lunchtime, Shiki gets hit by a sudden realization, one that prevents him from enjoying his meal and makes it literally impossible to get even a single bite in. He forgot to bring his chopsticks. Man, I fucking hate when that happens. Anyways, on his way to get them, he of course runs into a half-naked Sayuri. You know, just a normal day in Romcom City. And if you expect that tsundere outrage now, I have to disappoint you. There is none. Actually, they start hitting off their friendship pretty fast and have some really wholesome moments together. And this is pretty much the theme this manga tries to go for, at least in the beginning. It introduces a new character, followed by a few lighthearted and wholesome slice of life chapters, here and there some fan service, actually a lot of fan service, and slowly over the time increasing drama. Again, just sounds like your regular harem rom-com, but I found something in here that in my opinion really stands out from many others. And that is the characters. Yeah, the main character isn't any less of a dense idiot than a lot of other rom-com leads, but he's on the more likable side. To be fair, who really gives a shit about the guy in a harem story anyways? We all know what the main selling point of these types of manga is, but still, Shiki is a real one. With that said though, the other characters are the reason why this simple story really starts to shine. And we haven't even talked about best girl yet. Minami's mom is a close contender, because for obvious reasons. But no, we actually have a third love interest. Her. Do I have to say more? Natsukawa Arena is Shiki's senpai, which already gives her a plus point. She gets another 2 for being smart and cultured, and another 1 for being a rare short-haired girl in a romance story that isn't a little bitch. As I said before, the characters are all pretty likable, except for maybe one specific individual I won't show because of spoilers, but overall you can say that 90% of the fun reading this manga comes from wholesome characters that aren't only there for producing unnecessary problems. The mangaka was just like, I don't want the stupid who's best girl shit, I just make all of them best girl, including one of the moms. Yes, it does have a lot of edgy elements, the story doesn't even try to reinvent the wheel and is bottom line just the same harem trash as always, which at some parts also suffers from the same negative points other romcoms do, but I can't help but feel refreshed for whatever reason. Maybe it is because of the characters who actually talk about stuff instead of suffering silently. Maybe it's the northern Japan setting, together with small Hokkaido trivia sprinkled in by the author at the beginning of every new chapter. Or maybe it's the sensation of having a romance manga where you don't really care about with which girl the main character ends up, because you love every single one of them. It most likely is all of that, combined with the fact that my dress-up darling might have damaged something inside my brain that makes me unable to ignore anything 2D related with a Gyaru in it. Speaking of my dress-up darling, that one has an anime adaptation. And coincidentally, Hokkaido Girls will get an anime adaptation for the upcoming winter season 2024 by Studio Silverlink, which has not the best track record ever, but also not the worst. And I for my part am very curious about how the characters and scenery I praised so much will feel in animated form. With all that said, Hokkaido Girls is not a deep or perfect romcom by any means, and people who don't like edgy harem stuff in the first place will probably not get convinced by this one. But for everyone like me who's just a degenerate that enjoys the genre and wants something that feels slightly different, has great characters, beautiful art, neglectable drama, and stands true to its simple yet enjoyable core, then I'm sure it will be fully worth your time. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video. How do you feel about Hokkaido Gals? Has this little overview been absolute bullshit? Do you like it as much as me? Or are you interested in picking it up? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of my stuff in the future, activate the bell so you don't miss out on new uploads, and have yourself a wonderful day. As always, I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, peace.